In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a great general exercise program for the wrist. You might have had a wrist injury and are wanting a program to help regain your flexibility and strength, or you might just feel that your wrist or wrists are a bit stiff and weak for whatever reason and you want to do something about it. So the program is split into 3 parts. Part 1 is a general series of wrist stretches to help with stiffness and improve range of movement. Part 2 is a set of basic strengthening exercises suitable for everyone, and then Part 3 is an optional set of more advanced exercises aimed at taking your wrist strength to the next level. Before we get started though, if you have any pain, which might be an issue for you if you're recovering from an injury, then you must respect that and try and keep pain levels down to a low level, preferably below about 5 out of 10 on a pain scale like this one. Okay, so let's get started. So these stretches are aimed at improving mobility. First up is the one that we call throwing darts. Rest your elbow on a table or a chair arm. Grasp a pen between your thumb and index finger and then practice taking your wrist through the action of throwing a dart, as far back as you can to as far forward as you can. Repeat about 10 times. We then need to turn our attention to the main wrist movements of flexion, extension and side bending. To start off with, you can do these movements actively about 10 times in each direction. When you can do this with minimal pain, then you can start adding a gentle stretch to the end of each movement, like this. Remember to try and keep any pain to below that 5 out of 10 level as I mentioned earlier. The other important movement that can become stiff, particularly following a wrist injury, is forearm rotation. This is best done on a table or the arm of a chair. Slowly turn your wrist from the palm downwards position to the palm upwards position as far as you can. Hold for a few seconds and then turn back down as far as you can in the other direction. If the movement is stiff but not too painful, then you can add a stretch by using your other hand. Again, see if you can repeat about 10 times in each direction. When you can do all these movements with minimal pain, then it's time to progress. For wrist extension, we can do the prayer stretch. Look at the position of your forearms and aim to get them level over the coming weeks as you progress. Hold this stretch for 15 to 30 seconds and repeat 2 to 3 times. If you feel like you need a bit more leverage to increase this stretch, then try stretching your wrist against a wall like this. Keep your palm flat against the wall. Slide your hand down so as to increase the wrist angle until you feel a stretch. Then hold for 15 to 30 seconds and repeat 2 to 3 times. To progress further, you can do the same stretch using a table or in kneeling by using the floor. Adjusting how much of your body weight goes through your wrist will help you find the right level of stretch. For wrist flexion, the best stretch is to support your forearm on a table with your wrist draped over the edge, and then use your other hand to stretch into flexion. Hold for 15 to 30 seconds and repeat 2 to 3 times. To progress forearm rotation, you can use something like a rolling pin or a hammer in order to add some stretch at the end of the movements. Again, hold for between 15 and 30 seconds at the end position and repeat 2 to 3 times. These next exercises are aimed at improving wrist strength. Start by doing isometric exercises, which involve contracting the muscles but without any movement occurring. You do this by applying resistance with your other hand. For wrist extension, place your forearm on a table or armrest. Bend your wrist backwards and then try to keep it still whilst applying downwards pressure with your other hand. Hold for about 5 seconds and then relax. Repeat 5 to 10 times. You can do the same for wrist flexion. For forearm rotation, start by turning your palm downwards and then pin it in place with your other hand. Now try to turn your palm upwards whilst resisting the movement with your other hand. Hold for 5 seconds and repeat 5 to 10 times. Then do the reverse movement by holding your wrist in the palm upwards position and then trying to turn it downwards while resisting with the other hand. The next set of exercises are the isotonic ones, and they can be done with a dumbbell or a length of resistance band. Wrist extension can be done like this, with your palm facing downwards and forearm supported. Take your wrist slowly upwards, hold for a few seconds, and then slowly downwards in a smooth, controlled movement. Repeat 10 times. Wrist flexion can be done in the same way, but with the palm facing upwards. To improve grip strength, you can use a resistance ball. Squeeze it with your full hand to strengthen your power grip, and then indent it with your thumb and individual fingers to strengthen your pinch grip. Hold each movement for about 5 seconds and repeat 10 times. A grip spring can also be really helpful in improving your power grip. These next exercises are aimed at taking your wrist strength to the next level. Firstly, to help with wrist weight bearing, you can do various combinations of the press-up exercise. Start with stability work and the Superman exercise. Adopt the kneeling position and then take your opposite hand and foot off the floor. Hold for a few seconds before swapping sides. Do the movement slowly and controlled. To increase dynamic strength, you can do stepped weight-bearing exercises like these ones. You can do all of the following exercises in either a kneeling position or a full press-up position. I'm using a hex dumbbell for this one, but you could equally use a small step, a thick book, or even a house brick. If this position of wrist extension is painful, then using a pair of press-up bars like this will keep your wrists in a more neutral position. The last exercises I'm going to show you will help restore your full confidence in your wrist. They are plyometric exercises that involve a sudden loading of the wrist followed by an explosive push-up. Start against a wall, fall forwards, catch your fall with both hands, and then push strongly back into the standing position. Progress by taking more weight through the affected wrist or by using just one wrist only. You can also alternate your wrists like this. It's going to be harder the further away from the wall that you stand. You can also do these exercises against a table like this. Okay, well that's about it. If you're aiming to return to a certain sport, then there will be additional sport-specific exercises out there for you, which you can look for if you want to. There are some great YouTube strengthening videos aimed at racket sports, rock climbing, golf, etc. Okay, well I hope you found the video helpful in giving you some ideas in helping to improve your wrist strength and flexibility. Good luck putting it into action. Thanks very much for watching, and bye for now.